I am Ralph Michaels. This is Friday, March 21st. I'm breaking down two Friday round one games. We've got a nightcap, CBS, 9:45 p.m. Eastern, Xavier against Illinois. Xavier, Illinois, 3.5 point favorite, total of 160.5, 161. This game is in Milwaukee. First, the obvious question. You know I had to go to the database. What of the teams that play in the first four do in round one? Well, they're 20-19-1 against the spread since 2012. So playing that game with only 1 day of rest has not really hurt them against the spread. If they're a dog of 6 or more that played in the first four, they're 10-14. But if they're a favorite or a small dog up 5, they're actually 10-5-1. Xavier in that role here. The other check mark for Xavier is familiarity. Remember, this game is in Milwaukee where the Bucks play. Well, it's also where Marquette plays. So Xavier's been there. In fact, Xavier pulled the upset against number 7 Marquette here on this court on January 18th. Familiarity, at least a point or a point and a half for me for Xavier. Illinois, I really don't like this Illinois team, and I'll tell you why. They shoot as many threes as anyone. I mean, they are one of the Big Ten's most three-point heavy offense. In fact, they're number 31 in the country. Three-point shots versus field goals. Number 31. But they are number 316 in three-point offense. Let's see, isn't that the definition of insanity? If you keep doing something you can't do well and you keep doing it over and over, why shoot the 31st most numbers of threes and have the number 316 offense when you got the number 16 two-point offense? So again, I don't understand the offense. I don't understand why they keep forcing those threes when they're such a good interior team. But that is why Illinois is Illinois. You know, they went through a streak. They started 12-3, and then they had some bad losses. Home to USC, Nebraska. The Rutgers game, they should have taken care of them. So, you know, it's really a spot where I can't back them here. Can I back Xavier? Well, Xavier's played a pretty weak schedule. They've only beaten one Group A team. That was that Marquette win back in January. But I do like the way they are playing currently. When I look at the metrics from February 15th, I like looking at the last 3+ weeks when we get down late in the season in March Madness. Xavier has played well. They're playing to the level of the number 18 team in the country with the 22 offense and 34 defense. Illinois, playing the number 47th team, 18th offense, a little better, but the number 134 defense. Their defense has really struggled down the stretch. So I've got a bad three-point free shooting team. I've got a Xavier team that's top 15 defensive rebounding. They'll be able to snag those threes. I have a Xavier team that's coming in playing better, and they're a dog in a familiar setting. Guess what? You know which way the best bet's going. And not only is Xavier plus the 3 or 3.5 a best bet, let's sprinkle some on the money line and call for the outright upset. Video 2 here for Friday night in college basketball for March Madness Round 1. TBS, the nightcap, 10 p.m. Eastern. Bryant against Michigan State. Michigan State, a 17.5 point favorite. A total of 152.5. And I was thinking about flying home to Cleveland and going to watch these games. I didn't make it, though, but this, of course, in Cleveland. Bryant comes in, number 162 in the last couple weeks. Michigan State, number 6. Obviously, that's why we have a 17.5 point line. There are two interesting trends for both of these. They go opposite, so I'm going to share them with you, and you decide what you take of them. First, Bryant, a great season. Knocked Vermont out of the perch. I think Vermont had won, 8 straight titles, conference titles in that situation. So Bryant does progress after beating Vermont in the tourney. And when an NCAA tournament team has 3 straight wins by double digits, so back-to-back-to-back wins by 10 or more points, and they're a dog of 6.5 or more, not a huge sample size, but they have gone 16-5 against the spread, 76%. But on the flip side, top 3 seeds, so the 4-1 seeds, the 4-2 seeds, the 4-3 seeds, that didn't play on Sunday, and they're not worn out. They didn't play on Selection Sunday. They didn't make it to those conference tournaments, or the conference tournament finished earlier. Those teams, blindly, if you bet them, 23-13, 64% against the spread. They did go 2-2 yesterday, so not a positive, not a negative. Bryant is a team that wants to play fast, number 7 in the country, but their competition, non-existent. The strength of schedule, number 319. How many top 50 offenses has Bryant faced? 0. How many top 20 offenses has Bryant faced? 2. They allowed 99 points to St. John's. They allowed 84 points to Chattanooga. How many top 25 Ds did they play? 3. They lost by 22, 46, and while they only lost to 15, by 15 points to St. Bonaventure, they were actually only an 8-point dog, so they failed to cover by 7 points. Bryant's D, again, the numbers look good. They held the last 6 to 40.1%. That's an impressive number. Not so impressive when you look at the offenses they faced. Number 295, number 355, 181, 235, and 295. Bryant as a dog this year, 6 times they were a dog of 2 or more. Actually, I said 6 and I held up 4 fingers. I should have said 6. Bryant 0-6 as a dog. The 3 times they were a double-digit dog, they allowed 99 points, 112 points, and 85 points. Now, Michigan State, a clear divide when they're a bet-on team or when you should be indifferent about them. As a favorite of 8 or more, they're 7-6. They traditionally don't blow out those big favorites. But when they are a dog or a small favorite to -7, keep an eye on Michigan State after they advance here. 16-4 this year. What a great number. Again, that's Michigan State as a dog or a small favorite. 16-4, 80% against the spread. Now, Michigan State, we think of the old Izzo teams and we think Michigan State defense low scoring. Not so much this year. They are scoring more. The totals have climbed. They are actually 11-22 over under. So 2 out of every 3 games go under the total. So while Michigan State, 2 of 3 games have gone under the total, when they have a high total of 151 and higher, they're 5-4 over under. So not a reason to play the over, but a reason not to play the under as well. It's a 50-50 prop. So when I look at Bryant's D and what they've done when they're playing those higher offenses, I look at Bryant's tempo. They're going to press the pace. Michigan State also is playing much faster than they have in the past. Add it up. Best bet here for the show. Michigan State team total over 85. Hey guys, I want to remind you, tomorrow, WagerTalk last call, Saturday morning, 11 a.m. I'll be breaking down some round 2 TNA with Kelly in Vegas. Tune in, ask live questions, feel free. And again, thank you for watching these videos. Do us one favor, smash that like button, and make sure you subscribe to WagerTalk TV and find out why almost 200,000 people are members of WagerTalk TV. That way you get notified immediately with every free content video. Have a great March Madness. We'll be talking to you tomorrow. WagerTalk, last call.